Just want to say hello to everyone. Going to give you a couple minutes to join us here tonight. This is kind of an impromptu discussion after speaking with some parents earlier today, and just wanted to make a quick video because I think this is something that needs to be discussed, and I think we need to have an awareness as to the realities that are now facing parents and our younger athletes. So, tonight's live Coach's Corner is going to be with Wes Carroll, Evansville University, probably one of the most underrated college baseball programs in the country. And I really hope you'll join me in a few minutes when we talk to Wes Carroll. Wes Carroll is probably, I would say, in the top three college coaches that nobody knows about. In fact, I would venture to tell you that over the last 15 years or so, that Evansville University has won more games that have gone under the radar against top 25 or top 30 RPI teams than any other college baseball program. And last year in a super regional took Tennessee to game 3. So give that some thought as you're watching and listening to Wes Carroll. Now, today I'm going to sound as if I'm a little unhinged. That's not my point of having this conversation. After I wrap up talking with parents, I try to decompress for a while, and I try to give it some thought as to the relative value amongst the masses. Meaning, is this just a one-off kind of thing, or is this something that I think is happening more and more? And the more I was able to reflect and give it some thought, I really feel this is a topic, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because we're right up against 9 o'clock, and I'm going to have some time for Wes. But I want to bring this topic up. And I am from New England. I'm from Greater Boston, born and raised. And when I start to think of my time in youth sports as a kid, albeit when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I turn back the time to Tony Clignaro, Carl Yastrzemski, Bobby Orr, Tony Esposito, Jerry Cheevers, Steve Grogan, and into my early 20s, Larry Bird. And one thing that these athletes all had in common is they learned and honed their craft. The schoolyard. This parent called me today and was told that their son's participation in recess wiffle ball. Now, recess wiffle ball was drawing the air and the irritation of their travel ball coach. I am not here to bury travel baseball. Please get over yourselves. I'm just giving you an example. I think it's absolutely insane that we are telling children not to participate or play pickup sports. In fact, I would venture to tell you as parents, your children need more time. And when I say children, let's just call it from the ages of, I'd like to say 6 or 7, but reality will tell me that it's 8 through 14, where children need to be less structured and more organic. This is where they learn the joy and the creativity of becoming an athlete. I'm not a Yankee fan, but where do you think guys like Derek Jeter picked up and learned that whole, that backhand up in the air, throw across the diamond and get an out at first base? I'm pretty sure it wasn't through the routine and the structure of an organized practice. I'm pretty sure that was something he did on the Sandlot or Little League or just times when he was allowed to explore and create. Children pick up things like compromise. They learn how to fail and get back at it. We don't need to supervise every single event that a child, with regard to athletic events, does. We do not need to have a script. We do not need the recipe or the cure of a lesson. We do not need a clock. We don't need a stopwatch. 30 minutes lesson, hour and a half practice. We don't need that. It's not going to lead to being better, more competitive, more prepared. Larry Bird would shoot for hours and play pickup games against restaurant employees that allowed him to run up and down a court and learned how to be a basketball player. Same thing with guys like Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson in the streets of Detroit, Lansing, Michigan. Bobby Orr played hockey on a pond. There was no street hockey. He learned to play hockey on a pond. I think it's really important for us as adults to take a step back and not try to take credit for everything that happens within youth sports. Nothing that we do as adults for children 8 to 18 are going to lead them to greatness or lead them to college success or professional sports. It's not the way that it happens. And to be perfectly honest, blunt, and direct, the last thing the world needs more of is adult intervention with 8 to 14-year-olds as it pertains to youth sports. If you want to be backyard playing catch as a parent, absolutely. You want to be backyard playing catch as a sibling, absolutely. But we don't need more elite travel, AAA teams, AA teams, major teams. We don't need that. Wiffle ball is not going to upset or, in any way, shape, or form, derail your child's athletic future endeavors. I think we're starting to get to this part of there's too much corporate kind of business involvement with children that just want to play. I just want to make sure parents are perfectly aware that, again, reiterating for probably the 100th time, 90% of children will never play sports beyond high school. In fact, 60% of children that play sports as kids 8 to 14 don't even play high school sports. They have other interests. They have areas of academic interest. They have theater. They have music. They have other interests and hobbies. They go on to be tradespeople. So that's half of my diatribe. The other half is this. And I'm coming at this as a parent, not as a coach, and not as anything to do with college recruiting. I want parents to understand the last thing the world needs is another recruiting service. My God, there's so many recruiting services. It makes my head spin. I think for the sake of discussion, we should let parents know when it comes to college athletics, approximately 10% of all children that play youth sports, 10% will go on to play college. And of that 10%, 2% will be a Division I athlete. And of that 2%, half or 1% are active participants. The other half are spectators. And we go to junior college and NAIA and NCAA Division III and NCAA Division II. They make up the other 10% or the remaining 8%. So college recruiters, as they will so adeptly try to tell families, are not placing, they're just trying to find room. But what I want to tell parents is this. We as parents are not enjoying this 10-year window of being engaged and involved in our children's now. And we need to embrace these years that are the young, impressionable, and spending time with our children and recognizing that time is a resource that eventually runs out. Meaning, and I'm not saying that in a ominous kind of way. What I'm saying is, as children get older and they go to high school and obviously college and beyond, we don't get to spend as much time with them as parents. The time that we have to spend with our children are, that 3 or 4 years old until that 16, 17-year-old time period. And I think we need to be more aware that we're trading dollars and we're giving dollars away and we're chasing events that take up time. And time is something that we should be recognizing and valuing more. The other part of this, as going back and really focusing in on the college, I talk with a lot of families. Now, your definition of a lot, my definition of a lot may vary. I get direct messages, I get emails, I have people that respond to my posts. I'm blessed and I'm thankful and extremely grateful for, for the ability to have those interactions. But I get blown away and caught off guard when I hear families say to me, the last thing the world needs is another sports management degree. While I recognize that thought and I value tremendously, the vocations and the professions within the trades, the electricians, the carpenters, the auto mechanics, the auto body, etc. I also want parents that do not place any value. And yes, there are a lot of parents who could care less. That's their right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but we're looking at college as a placement for athletics as opposed to the fit and the balance of the 4-year experience. What happens during those 4 years? And I can speak to this because I missed out on it. And it's why I really valued it for my sons as a parent. College is more than a classroom. College is about growth. College is about an entryway into becoming an adult. It is the final frontier of being a kid. You make mistakes, you learn, you take them into adulthood. You're meeting different people globally in some cases, different parts of the country, the faculty of college, the student body of college, the community of college. College is a key part of growing up. You don't want to take it from an academic perspective. You think there's too many business degrees in the world. You don't think the value is there. Junior college can fill that void. It serves the same purpose. My point is from 18 to 22 or 19 to 23, those are years of growth, not just an athletic endeavor. You may meet your future spouse. You may meet your future best man or wedding party. You meet and develop relationships that carry far beyond the college experience. So when you're talking with someone about the college experience, it needs to be as a collective experience. It needs to be about balance. It needs to be about the right fit for your child. It is not about an athletic endeavor. It is not going to lead to a professional career for 99% of college athletes. And my whole point of having this discussion is when I talk to parents that say to me, we have to choose between vacations or other cultural experience or playing a summer because this team is demanding that we sign a contract now and start to pay over the next 8 months. And they also said we shouldn't be playing wiffle ball because our son will get hurt, and they should just focus on the practices on the weekends. You got to call a timeout. You got to bring some kind of rationale. We have to come back. We have to make a U-turn. And if this is the hill I have to die on, so be it. There are a lot of people that could care less about what I think, the Josh Rudds of the world and other people. Great, no problem. And I don't think enough of myself or what I do or how I do it to think that this is going to make a difference for the vast majority of people. But for those people that I spend time talking with, for those people that find their way to my videos and make comments, and for those people that take the time to send me messages, I want one thing to be crystal clear. Youth sports is about a time, a decade that you as parents will have with your children to enjoy. It should not consume your entire summer. It should not consume all of your extracurricular activities, your vacations, your family events, birthdays, holiday functions, etc. But more importantly, from a monetary perspective, you should not be spending tens of thousands of dollars. You should not be spending the fall playing one sport, the off season taking lessons, the spring and the summer playing in the same sport. We need balance. If your children don't want to play other sports, that's fine, but they might want to be kids. They might want to ride bikes with their buddies. They might want to go fishing. They might want to build a tree fort. They might just want to hang out in the neighborhood. My hope is for videos like this, is for those parents that are tossing and turning at night, trying to make decisions this time of year for youth sports for next year in 2025. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you have to make a decision today and you're not sure, it's not the right fit for you. Youth sports, travel sports, they can coexist. But you have to be able to say, this has to be the right fit for our family. Traveling 4 hours, 5 hours, probably not a great idea. If it's within 30 minutes, okay. If it's the time of year for the season and it's baseball in the summer, okay. But, if somebody wants to play soccer, somebody wants to play lacrosse, golf, fish, football, basketball, bring baseball back to kids. Bring sports back to kids. Allow children to be children. When it comes to time, the time comes for your children to make decisions about the next phase in their life, allow your children to be involved on a collective level, not just an athletic level. College needs balance. Because at the end of the day, no truer words have been spoken. If your son or daughter chose a school and they got for sports and they got hurt and couldn't play sports, would they be happy living and participating with the campus they chose for their college experience? That's the number one question. So I want to say thank you to everybody today. I had a lot of great conversations. And Cully, thank you very much. And I'm going to reiterate what Cully typed here. Allowing children to be kids will pay dividends. They will learn compromise. They will learn that it's okay to fail. It's okay to fall. It's okay to be creative, to try over and over and over again until they get a sport right. There's a lot of great social media accounts that talk about creativity and becoming fluid with movement patterns. There is no set of directions. There is no vitamin or pill that you can take. No one, including myself, has all the answers for your child. But the number one training tool or learning environment for children is amongst their peers, both younger and older. Children surrounded by children allowing them to express themselves in any way, shape, or form, and allowing them to try and experiment, not only athletically, socially, culturally. We were all kids once. We have to go back to allowing that to be a part of the process of growing up. It can't be scripted. And just, I can tell you definitively, nothing that happened as recently as 3 years ago holds any relevance with travel athletics, AAU athletics. Nothing. Recruiting landscape is entirely different. It's not the college coach's fault. It is not the college coach's fault. It is no one's fault. These are new rules that are changing because of the business of college athletics, because of the business of professional sports. Children are not meant to be treated as assets. They're not meant to be treated as employees of a team or a program. What you're paying for is to try to escalate or elevate a child's ability or skill set. You're looking for validation. Your children's abilities don't need validation. They're going to figure it out. And if they love the sport early in life, they're going to work hard at it as they get older because it's going to mean something to them. And when it matters more to them than it matters from your perspective for them, they will begin to take the lead and take the initiative. Because at 16, when they get the keys to the car, you want to know that your kids are going to drive to the ballpark for extra reps on their own, not because you have to drive them to practice. So I want you to stay tuned for our discussion with Wes Carroll from Evansville University, the Aces, one of the best college baseball programs that a lot of families do not have a lot of understanding or insight on, and I hope that will change tonight. Continue to send your questions and all of your concerns. I will help to the best of my abilities. And I appreciate you taking the time tonight to listen, and I hope you stick around to listen to Wes Carroll. Thank you.